Hi, Skip here. Today I want to do a little history lesson on the topic of splatterpunk and the loud versus quiet controversy that ensued when we arrived. Okay, when I first came into the horror scene, went to my first conventions around 1982 or so, there were a number of writers. They were not Stephen King, they were not Peter Straub, they were not at the top of the list, but they were the writers who were doing serious, thoughtful horror work in the field. They were more traditional, they were more professorial. You would see more, the jackets with the leather patches on the elbows and so forth. And that was cool. A lot of really wonderful work was being done by these fellas. It was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something else. I wanted to mess shit up a little bit. So I arrived on the scene with first by myself, then with Craig Spector. Simultaneously, Clive Barker, Dave Scow, Joe Lansdale were also messing shit up, just pushing the limits of what was perceived to be acceptable at the time. As it turns out, a bunch of the people who were there before were not thrilled about us crashing the party. And so much debate ensued, and the main line that got debated at that time was loud versus quiet, which is to say quiet, demure, thoughtful, mature horror versus loud, barbarian horror that basically had come to course in the genre, be the barbarians at the gates. And it was very interesting to be perceived in that way, because that isn't what we felt like we were doing at all. But at the same time, I totally see why it felt that way to those guys. So then, all of a sudden, I'm selling millions of copies of my books with Craig Spector, and these other guys are starting to win awards and getting all kinds of acclaim all over the place. And this was all happening more or less in public. There wasn't an internet yet, but there was the convention circuit and the magazines and the zines and et cetera, et cetera. And so this turned into an authentic, although completely absurd tussle. And I think that was basically where it was determined that we were the bad guys. And then when the genre crashed and burned in the early 90s, largely I think due to the fact that there were a trillion people trying to be the next Stephen King, and we only really needed one of them, we were sort of blamed for that, which I thought was a very interesting and surprising phenomenon. So, then you look at the absurdity of what happened, and I think this film very nicely illustrates just how weird it was, and how, in the end, I think this is the truth I took away from it, is that it's when you blend those elements, when you have dynamics of loud and quiet and genteel and overt and mayheminous, that's when it gets really beautiful. That's when it gets surprising. That's when it actually addresses the potential of the genre, and that's what I love. And now, with all that said, I'm just going to sit back and let y'all enjoy the mayhem. I think it speaks for itself.
Some motherfucking blood! On the scientist! I got 20 bucks!